I have submissions from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have submissions from 7 players. I'm going to start with Willem Toth. Willem Toth chose the objective, the Shuddering Peaks. The Shuddering Peaks is a new location that was rolled. The Shuddering Peaks are a relentless adversary. The plane shakes constantly, causing loose rocks and debris to fall. The deafening winds make communication almost impossible, and the higher you climb, the worse it gets. The goal was to reach the summit and uncover whatever secret the House of Tiny Lies desires. Whether it is a powerful artifact, ancient knowledge, or something more dangerous, your task is to find it. And the dangers were the elements themselves are the greatest foe. The wind, weather, and quakes are disorienting, and the climb is grueling. The journey will test the person's endurance, adaptability, and resolve. Willem Toth submitted. His goal was to reach the summit and uncover its secrets. How does he plan to accomplish this? Willem says Willem will entreat the Golden Bough to provide him quality climbing gear, and he will work in the kitchen to deal with the debt. He will work in the kitchen to deal with the debt for the gear. Once he has the gear, he will make the excursion to the base of the mountain. There he will prepare himself a meal to protect himself from the elements using local flora before calling upon the spirits to aid him. The spirits will be directed to keep pace with Will and secure pitons as he climbs. This will keep his way secure and ensure that any fall is both safer and a shorter distance than a free climb. Finally, with these preparations made, Will look for any hidden paths up the cliff that might be safer than a direct approach. Well thought out. If any other individuals aligned with the Golden Bough show up, Willem will offer them a meal and accept their aid in reaching the summit. However, Will does his best to be the first to reach the peak. Successfully reaching the summit, Will search in earnest for the secrets there, directing his spirit aides to do the same. To the question of does he deserve a bonus to his odds of success, and his reasoning, Willem states, Willem is going to face the elements with his culinary alchemy. He is going to use his ectomancer ability to ensure assistance from the other side. And he has the well-traveled strength, which will allow him a rank shift in finding hidden paths. With his strong exploration kit, which he indeed has, his experience and his pre-planning, Willem should have better than most chance at success. Willem also possessed 3 4-pointed stars which hold souls that he can utilize, using these spirits one at a time or in tandem. Will has more steady hands than most on the mountainside. Okay. And then asked if he has wounds. Willem is suffering from the possession fatigue and a mental wound. For the possession fatigue, he has spent time between turns resting in the medical facility in the Golden Bough. and he will not overexert himself while in a settlement procuring the climbing gear and cooking off his debt. He will additionally fortify his recovery from the fatigue with a hearty, alchemically enhanced meal. While the meals might take the edge off of the mental wound, he knows a wound of this nature takes time to heal. Willem will meditate in the nights and late evenings to attempt to repair the wound. Additionally, he will lean more heavily on the use of his four-pointed star to call upon spirits that willingly enter the vessels, rather than drawing on spirits from the surrounding area. That is going to be a very lovely scene to paint. It seems like there would be some peaceful moments. It'd be a roller coaster ride. I'm getting like Samurai Jack vibes as he prepares and as he goes up the mountain. That's cool. I like that. Next, we have Zanera and Ayanga. They chose a personal objective. Their primary goal is to find a way to reawaken Ayanga and assemble the means to defeat the serpentine jinn inside Darren. Currently, we don't know where the jinn is, but it seems like she is preparing should the jinn return. How do you accomplish this? With the aid of a friend, most likely Eden, Zanera has a plan to try to reach Ayanga and bring her to waking. After this attempt, regardless of success or failure, Zanera is going to prepare for a confrontation with the jinn. She wants to bring together a number of resources that combined should maximize the chances of subjugating the being without killing Darren. She wants to commission Oiji. Now, we haven't seen the player Darren, who currently has the spirit in him, but we know that the spirit in Darren is MIA. And I stated in the Discord's role-playing server that I am more than willing to continue this thread and am able to continue the thread. It's just I would need people to continue on the thread for us to continue the thread. And what I'm thinking right now is when this jinn returns, obviously it's not going to return as Darren. I will think it can only mean that it found something better to possess. So if and when this jinn returns, it's probably going to be in something that's even more powerful than Darren. And by powerful, I mean suitable, something that it found more suitable. And it found Darren more suitable because it was a larger body, and it found it to be more hardy despite his age. So that means it could return in something even more intimidating. Zanera wants to commission Oiji to create some manacles linked with a chain that in the middle contains a metal vial. She then wishes to have the item blessed by Ovaz, having experienced that Lantier has had success in calming elemental spirits like Ayanga in episode 2. Finally, she wishes to go looking for any texts or tomes that details the runes Finally, she wishes to go looking for any texts or tomes that details the runes that are a means of capturing Jinn. Something she knows exists because it was the reason Ayanga was exiled. So something that existed in the world before the purge, before the unwriting. If all this comes together, she will be confident she has a method of subduing the jinn and trapping it in the metal vial should the manacles be put onto the host. If she can plan a confrontation, she will go in with Ianga awakened, Samuel, Andrews, and Ovaz, plus any other warriors willing to help rescue Darren. To pay for these, if her own gold reserves established in episode 3 aren't enough, she will be looking for any favors the above mentioned people need. If that doesn't cover it, she will consider going with one of the groups of people she knows well, Samuel Andrews, Willem, and Eden, on one of their quests, if there's a chance of payment or furthering the above objectives. So she's saying that if for some reason she's unable to get these favors, she would pay for it by lending herself to help as a form of payment. Finally, if none of these are viable or something interferes with these plans, such as Darren appearing dead with no further leads on the jinn, then Zanera will investigate the mountain, but only if Ianga is awake to help protect her from the elements. The storm-like dangers are hopefully close enough to Ianga's powers to give her some protection. If it proves too dangerous, she will turn back unless doing so puts her allies in more danger. So her goal is to prepare for the jinn, and if her attempts to pay for her preparations fail, she'll assist someone to pay for them, or she'll go climb the mountain with anyone else climbing the mountain. So kind of like a backup, which is understandable because maybe she's not really certain. There's a lot riding on that first part, and she's not really sure how that would play out. We'll make it work. We'll stick with her objective, because that's the ask, is to have a single objective. We'll see how it works. We'll see how it plays out. Do you deserve a bonus to your odds of success? If so, share your reasoning. For awakening Ianga, with her years of experience sharing her body with the elemental, she's probably the only person who could pull her out of the depths of the magical slumber. And she also knows that Ianga's a warrior that won't wish to be sidelined if there's one of her most hated enemies walking around. Her medical knowledge should let her use concoctions that may give her an edge. For assembling the confinement, Zanera's work in the hospital and the bonds she made with the other rogues should make them more willing to assist, and I agree. Especially if it has the purpose of saving one of their own and getting rid of a spectral danger. Yeah, there's gonna be some diplomacy dice being rolled. There's gonna be some asks, and we're gonna see if the characters in this simulation, albeit the player characters control themselves, but if there's ever a moment where someone is trying to intimidate someone or persuade someone, those dice can succeed, and the character will do something within the realm of what that character would do, matching. This is why I asked for players to, when they submit their character, to submit their personalities as well. This is why every character has full attributes such as intuition and intelligence. Should something try to manipulate them in a negative way or a non-malevolent way. If you have wounds, please address in your submission. So she says she has, she's magically sedated. She has a mental wound, which is -1 rank shift to willpower. With the magically induced slumber, Zanera feels her elemental guardian may be in danger, especially with the threat of the Jinn near the tower settlement. Her first order of business will be in trying to awaken Ayanga. Using her medical knowledge, she plans on going to a place such as the tower, where any damage will be minimized. With a friend in attendance, probably Eden, she will make 2 concoctions to take. The first will put her in a deep sleep where she hopes she can find Ayanga deep within her psyche. After a few hours, she has instructed her friend to administer the second concoction, which would wrench her awake. Her hope is by mirroring Ayanga's slumber and reconnecting with her, the drug will pull both of them back to waking. The location of the tower will hopefully minimize any damage if Ayanga wakes violently. So I guess she's saying like a high tower, like on the roof. Should, in case like some lightning starts to pop off, I guess. Smart. I can dig it. So I'm right now, as I'm reading this submission, I'm picturing, this is going to be an ongoing scene throughout the episode of her trying to get Ayanga awake. She might go on a little dreamscape quest to pull her out of the depths of this slumber. That could be fun. Next, we have Eden, who is also on a personal objective. Eden's primary goal is to root out the spies and gain an advantage against the disagreeable master. Now, if we recall, the maiden and Father Maximori has some spies ingrained in her network, and she's going to try to root them out and gain an advantage against the disagreeable master. How do you accomplish this? With the transition from her old character sheet to the new one, Eden's draconic potential has shifted away from spells and focus on her enhanced senses. Thanks to these heightened abilities, especially her enhanced hearing, she now has a chance to uncover spies working among the staff at the Golden Bow, and fire them. She also plans to use this ability to search for the possessed rogue and eavesdrop near the disagreeable master's manor, hoping to gather valuable information against him. If the situation is favorable, Eden might also attempt to persuade some of the disagreeable master's guards to let her to her side, using her skills in diplomacy, leadership, and her striking appearance to win them over. She could sweeten the deal by offering a little money and promising a fair settlement for everyone involved, appealing to their sense of fairness while providing a practical incentive to switch sides. She also promises to recruit them as the Golden Bow's guards if the disagreeable master were to ever be deposed, offering them a secure and stable position with better conditions. If the disagreeable master's location is too risky to approach directly, Eden will instead follow some of his guards home, aiming to speak with them privately. In public, she'll wear a blindfold to conceal her slitted draconic eyes. Do you deserve a bonus to your odds of success? If so, share your reasoning. She says, I believe Eden should gain a bonus when trying to uncover spies at the Golden Bow, simply because it's where she spends most of her time. Many games reward players with a bonus when they dedicate time to an activity, and this feels like one of those situations. I absolutely agree. Next, we have Sam. Samuel Andrews also chose a personal objective. locating and confining Darren. This is going to probably be the submission that really drives the continuation of this. He's going right to it seems. How do you plan to accomplish this, Samuel Andrews? Samuel says he will try to find Darren within the Tower settlement, working together with whoever is also looking for him. In the end, Sam's goal is to have him restrained and taken to the prison for safety of himself as much as others. For himself as much as others. There we will await someone like Willem to exorcise the jinn from Darren. Samuel will not hesitate against. Okay, so that gives me an out too. I know I had discussed a way to have the jinn return without the player character Darren. Darren could be exorcised. That could be a way to get the jinn out without needing anything from Darren. Maybe he's still kind of like unconscious. It's an option. Samuel will not hesitate against Darren, nor would he hold back. Samuel would use his skills to disarm any weapons or shields from Darren, as well to confine him with rope and or chain. Samuel will utilize his training in grappling and submission to subdue the capable warrior. And if he has time, Samuel would also like to look into the House of Tiny Lies. Though he's going to take greater caution than his last attempt, he would like to find any bit of information that could give him an advantage in future interactions with the House of Tiny Lies and the Disagreeable Master. Let me read that again because I was thinking of something while I was reading that. And if he has time, Samuel will also like to look into the House of Tiny Lies. Okay, this is a side objective. Though he's going to take greater caution than his last attempt, he would like to find out any bits of information that could give him an advantage in future interactions. Okay. With the House of Tiny Lies and the Disagreeable Master. Okay. If for some reason everything he's doing with Darren brushes with the House of Tiny Lies, we'll see if we can fit a little bit of that in there in terms of learning anything. It's possible. I know it's possible, but the focus is his primary goal, and it will remain the focus. Do you deserve a bonus? Share your reasoning. Unfortunately, I can't see a reason why I would deserve a bonus. Okay, thanks for being honest. If you have wounds, please address them. He has a high-ranked leg wound. Oh yeah. Arriving at the Golden Bough, Samuel got Eden to treat his wound. He plans to take it. Okay. Yep. He plans to take it easy on that leg as best as he can and let Eden's medical expertise help with his healing. If he can find some, he'll use crutches to move around, but he'll quickly toss them to the side in the event that he needs to defend himself or if extensive force is needed to confine Darren. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Maximori. He chose the objective, kill the thing. The objective, kill the thing, just to refresh my memory, involved the 7-path tunnel. The House of Tiny Lies or something they're trying to, they sent people back to secure more treasure that Nazareth found. And there's something that is, giving them a hard time. And the tunnel's killing everybody they send off. It's a new manifestation. This entity is a powerful and cunning adversary, known for setting traps, ambushing explorers, and sensing anyone who approaches. Direct confrontation is risky, and careful planning will be required. So he chose kill the thing. What is your primary goal? Work with Nazareth to navigate the 7-path tunnels, uncovering the secrets of the 7-path tunnels, and revive the slayed manifestations. How do you accomplish this? Maximori will begin the session by asking the maiden for guidance on Nazareth's proposition regarding killing Ouija. Huh? Please roll to see if the maiden wants Ouija killed or spared. Oh, he's leaving it up to fate. because the maiden is an NPC at the end of the day. Nazareth is proposing to get Oiji killed? Invoke the maiden's blessing for guidance and protection as he travels through the seven path tunnels. He will invoke his cultist NPC network to see what other rogues. Invoking the cultist network to see what other rogues are also traveling to the seven path tunnels. Some data gathering, okay. That means that these rogues would have needed to be in the Golden Bough when discussing their plans. There's a chance of that. Once realizing Nazareth is going, convincing him to travel together, offering the shadow travel ability and intel from the cultist network as bargaining chips. And I can't wait to see what Nazareth says. And in addition, using his exceptional intuition to sow doubt into Naz's head regarding Oiji and the Golden Bough faction. Doubt of what? All Maximori's requests. Question mark. The fuck are we talking about? The corpses of the slayed manifestations and help finding the secret of the seven path tunnels. Offering the shadow travel ability and intel from the cultist network as bargaining chips, and in addition, using his exceptional intuition to sow doubt into Naz's regarding Oiji and the Golden Bough faction. Intuition would not help sow doubt. It would help someone from sowing doubt into your own mind. All Maximori's requests, question mark. The corpses of slayed manifestations and help finding the secret of the seven path tunnels. I'm not tracking. I'm not understanding what that means. Maxim will use shadow travel to protect himself and Nazareth from danger. Hey, y'all, take your time with your submissions. You have time. Take your time and read it to yourself, and then imagine someone else reading it. Maxim will use shadow travel to protect himself and Nazareth from danger. Okay. Quickly travel through the tunnels and keep themselves hidden as other rogues attract manifestations and set traps. Right now I'm thinking, would Nazareth want to face those manifestations or hide from them? We'll see. Maximori will also use the maiden's guidance, his exceptional intuition and willpower, and Nazareth's prior experience traveling through the tunnels to safely navigate. In the event of combat, Maxim will use shadow travel to stay out of danger. Dark manifestations to imbue Nazareth with manifestation attributes / summon manifestations as needed, and utilize the undead obtained in turn 3. Any manifestation corpses Maxim encounters, Maxim will use Deathly Dominion to raise them from the dead, and shadow travel to safely transport them to the settlement. Oof. Lord, do not bring the skulkers out of the seven path tunnels, please. Maximori is hoping to utilize the raised manifestations to further his mission and to find the secret of the seven path tunnels. And I think the seven path tunnels has more than just one secret too, so, which hopefully relates to bringing the maiden into the master plane. Oh, so by even saying that his intention is that begs the question. Now we have to ask the question is, and that could be a yes. Ooh, that's how you mythic, baby. In the event that things get bad, Maxim will attempt to summon manifestations and currently obtained undead as a distraction, allowing Maxim to transport him and Nazareth out of danger using shadow travel. Do you deserve a bonus? He says yes, the maiden's blessing The maiden's blessings of strength. The maiden blessing strength. Exceptional intuition and his exceptional intuition and willpower. Okay. And utilizing the cultist network to see who is all going to the 7 paths to adequately prepare for any surprises and betrayals. Yep. And Nazareth's previous experience in the 7 paths. Yep. And previously obtained undead from turn 3 for support. See, he's a pro. He knows how to use his assets. I agree. All right, Nazareth. Kill the thing. Hold up. Okay, yeah, so this is the same one. Kill the thing. He's also going into the tunnels. Okay. Wait, did Maxima say how he was going to kill the thing? Yeah, they're hoping to encounter the thing as well as other manifestations. Okay, got it. All right. Nazareth, kill the thing. His primary goal is to defeat the creature. And Maxim is going to revive it once defeated. How do you accomplish this? Reluctantly working with Father Maxim Mori to get through the tunnels and defeat the monster. Got it. I'll use my previous knowledge and experiences with the creatures of the tunnels and its puzzles to help navigate our way around and defeat any opposition. That's major. Nazareth will trust in Maxim's intuition and abilities to navigate tough parts of the dungeon and the beast. If Father Maxim Mori shows bravery in the face of danger, I will defend him. Yo, that's crazy. He has to show bravery before he defends him. That's how you play in character. I will defend him and he will further gain my respect. This is important. He didn't say that, but this is important. I'd also like to see if, while we are navigating the tunnels, we come across a room or items that are powerful items or valuables. Likely. If any other rogues are taking this mission, I want to allow them to face the creature first while we watch the battle. If they are defeated, we will learn from their mistake and go in after it and kill it after. I don't think anyone else is going after that thing. If they succeed, then we will ambush them and finish them off in a very violent way to claim the prize. I like to use fate bending to heighten our chances that we find a room with powerful or valuable items. And in combat, I will be using my Leviathan Endurance to help tank potentially lethal hits. Use Arena Master to create a battlefield that takes the creature out of its element and forces it into a favorable terrain for me and hinder it. If it's another rogue, I will do the same. Using my combat abilities combined with my physical stats, I wish to overwhelm any fighter viciously, breaking bones or even severing them. Damn. Use my new spell while Arena Master is active and hopefully gain proficiency with it. And willpower. If I'm under any mental attacks, I will rely on my willpower to help me through. Intuition. I want to use my intuition to determine weak points and when's the best time to attack the beast or other rogues, and make sure Maxim is indeed trustworthy. Battle the creature with wits if necessary, and pair with Maxim to detect traps and ambushes. Y'all have a great thing going here. I would hate if it would be bad if others would have gone to this location. Do you deserve a bonus? He says, because I've been in the tunnels before, I should have a leg up on navigating through it. Well, at least a portion of it, right? I'm going to assume you are going to take the same path and then maybe branch off of what's familiar. And then fate bending to find extra treasures. Perfect. All right. Oiji. What is my man Oiji doing? Personal objective: to hunt for, develop, train, and cultivate new magics and artifice. Ooh, he's going to be in the lab. How do you plan to accomplish this? Beginning with the threads of the spell he gained from the artist. Okay, yep, from episode 2, I believe. He had gleaned information off of the artist's brain. Oiji will seek to use his intellect and willpower to bend the spell to new designs, seeking to further the weapons he has already created. Since he is working to bend magic in his own craft, he will be utilizing the hands of creation in his task, as well in conjunction. Wait! Didn't Maxim say something about Nazareth wanting to kill Oiji? Maximori will begin session by asking the maiden for guidance on Nazar's proposition regarding the killing of Oiji. Okay, so that's probably just a little conversation they had, and he's gonna say, okay, and I'll take it back to the maiden and see what she thinks, and then they go on their quest. Okay. And Oiji looks like he's getting prepared, which is good. Not that he knows, but it's good that he's doing whatever he's about to do. So he says he will be working to bend magic in his own craft. He will be utilizing the hands of creation in his task, as well in conjunction with his arcane forge. In search of new magics and artifice, Oiji will go in the direction where he hears the most promising rumors of such things. Whether that is a new manifestation or new material, Oiji would not care where it would lead. Okay, so he's gonna let me to choose. Either to the tunnels or the peaks, he cares not, but he is not in search of a fight in any of these places, merely material resources. Okay, so we're gonna roll to see where the rumors lead him, where the murmurings lead him. If he's not looking for a fight, then I would think that he would definitely use his intellect, because he's an intelligent person. I mean, because he's intelligent, I don't think he would go to the 7-path tunnels. That's all it is just danger and fights in there. You know what I mean? So that's good for him. I'm glad he pointed that out, that he's not looking for a fight. That means he's not going to go somewhere where that would happen. He'd sooner go to somewhere else. Perhaps back to the Tomb of the Scale. He would have heard about the Tomb of the Scale. Possibly. I don't know. I'll have to review. Do you deserve a bonus for your odds of success? He says, I believe Oiji should gain a bonus in the search for workable materials since he is an artificer. His entire bag is tinkering of magical items, so it should follow that he would be able to recognize the usefulness of those materials in their raw forms. Indeed. I also believe that he should get a bonus for the development cultivation of the artist's spell for other uses, because I think he would have an understanding to pick apart spells and magic to make it change and be utilized for other things. Even more so because he is trying to use a found spell on something he knows intimately, one of the items he has already created. The hands of creation being an item of crafting, and the hands of war being about casting. I also believe the act of enchantment in part, the act of enhancement is in part of an act of the hands of creation being an item of crafting, and the hands of war being about casting. I also believe the act of enchantment is in part an act of imparting a spell to an object. As such, it is in the same vein as tinkering with a spell or low levels of metallic. Okay, I'll have to look at Hands of Creation for context. Hands of Creation. Oiji wears 2 armbands on either arm that look like skeletal hands, which is badass. That he can summon 2 spectral sets of hands with. When crafting, he gains a +1 to rank shift to the craft. Hands of War, same thing, +1 RS to casting. And he's saying the hands of creation being an item of crafting and the hands of war being an item of casting. I also believe that the act of enchantment is in part an act of imparting a spell to an object. Casting. Yeah. Same vein as tinkering with the spell. Yeah, so he's saying that tinkering with a spell is no different than tinkering with an object. And in a way, it's just like it's spellcraft. Right. I get what he's saying. Got it. But what is he making? Beginning with the threads of the spell he gained from... In which spell? He has... I'm going to assume it's the one that we were talking about in our private conversation. There's a particular spell that is a thread. A fragment of a spell. There's one where it's like... No, there's a ritual... And then there's a one that is a fragment. Okay, and I think he's going to try to alter it, is what I think he's saying. Oiji will seek to use his intellect and willpower to bend the spell to new designs. Okay, yeah, so he's going to try to bend it to new designs. Got it. Seeking to further the weapons he has already created. What weapon? Oh, the weapons from episode 3. Got it. Okay. Since he is working to bend magic in his own craft, he will be utilizing the hands of creation and tasks as well as conjunction. In search of new magic, with his arcane forge, in search of new magics and artifice, the Oiji would go on in the direction where he hears the most promising rumors. So using the things he finds from the things that he finds, he'll use those to enhance the tools he created in conjunction with the spell that he got from the artist. I understand. I got you, dog. I got you, big dog. I'm tracking. I follow. Okay. Good job, guys. This should be interesting. Okay. So my favorite part of DMing a game such as this is finding ways to combine everybody's submission into one cohesive story. And based off of each of these submissions that I had received and read, I think I have a plan. There are going to be some dice rolls to flesh out some things to determine the outcomes, but for the most part, this is how I foresee things happening, whether people were successful or not. Willem is going to the Shuddering Peaks to discover what power is at the top. He's going to prepare for this endeavor, rubbing shoulders with Eden. Ultimately, he'll pursue the Shuddering Peaks. Oiji is going to end up at the Shuddering Peaks. I could roll to see other locations where he hears rumors, but the current rumor is the Shuddering Peaks, right? As well as the Seven Path Tunnels, but the Seven Path Tunnels, as I stated earlier, is too dangerous. He's not looking for a fight, so he would sooner go to the Shuddering Peaks. He's hearing that there's potential power up there. He's hearing that the House of Tiny Lies is sending people there. There's something there. That's the rumor. He's simply looking for resources. There may be resources for both he and Willem Toth. So that's where he'll head to do some research. Then we have Zanera, who is going to be rubbing shoulders with Eden to awaken Ianga. Whether that's successful or not, Zanera stated that she's going to be calling in favors because she has an idea on how to subdue the Jinn. I'm going to make it so that one of the rumors in Samuel's investigation of the whereabouts of Darren, aka the Jinn, is that the House of Tiny Lies found someone who took on the challenge of discovering what was at the peaks, and who that was Darren. That's going to lead Samuel to want to go confront Darren. But this is not before talking with Zenera, as she presents to Samuel her plans to capture him, which involves what? The manacles and the metal vial. The manacles will be, she's going to go to Oiji to craft the manacles, explaining that the metal vial is going to be used to trap the jinn, and she's not going to use Ovaz. Ovaz isn't present, but she'll be inspired by how Ovaz pacified Ayanga. She'll be inspired to come up with the metal vial situation. Also based upon research of, she's going to look for some tomes to do research on capturing jinn. And I do believe Willem will have some input into that as well, and some contributions to capturing the spirit in the metal vial. And in doing so, capturing the jinn in the metal vial with the helps of Sam to subdue it, Willem Toth to spiritually subdue it, and Oiji to create the means and the manacles to trap it. That Oiji will look at that on his way to the mountains. He would look when Zenera comes to him to present him the idea. He looks at the metal vial with the jinn trapped inside as an enchantment. This is a resource, and I'm not seeing in Zenera's submission that she wants to keep the jinn. Ayanga probably wants to destroy the jinn. I think Oiji would be able to achieve that for her, destroy the jinn, while also for himself acquiring an enchanted metal vial that could have some magical properties. I mean, that could be one of the biggest resources he could find, is a metal vial, enchanted manacles, powered by the jinn. So he's going to see that as an opportunity to get what he's looking for, which will require him to assist Zenera, which is what she needs, at the peaks. So they're all going to end up at the peaks. They're going to locate Darren, who's going to be there, but Darren is just going to be there. They're going to discover that the jinn is no longer in Darren, and they will encounter an enemy, a manifestation that I'll roll that's going to be more powerful. And they'll all have to deal with that, and we'll see how that turns out. Meanwhile, Eden is going to be dealing with rooting out the spies. She'll briefly bump into Samuel when she eavesdrops on the disagreeable master in House of Tiny Lies. He's going to say, hey, be careful. Look what happened to me. That's where she'll learn that Darren, they found someone who meets they'll both learn this while they're investigating, that they found someone that meets the characteristics of Darren to go to the peaks. And the whole thing with Maximori and Nazareth, nothing's going to stop them. I'm going to throw in that they encounter some people that are still working for the House of Tiny Lies, just so they can have somebody to take out. And then they're going to be able to capitalize on whatever they discover there. And by the end of the episode, we will have 3 separate arcs kind of tied up, and hopefully everyone is successful. I'm going to need to roll for the thing that's killing the people in the 7 Path tunnels, which I believe I already did. I'll have to double check. And then I'm going to have to roll to see what form the jinn has taken at the top of the mountain. And then we'll have to roll to see how successful everyone is. Okay, so I went through everyone's submissions. I created an outline of how I'm going to present all the events unfolding. And then I created all of the questions that I would need to ask and roll, all the fate questions that I would need to roll by way of Mythic. And so I'm going to start from the top. I'm going to roll them all out. This will give us more details on how this activity will unfold. It could change the outline. For the most part, the outline I have written is not based on whether they are successful or whether they fail. It's just a base outline, and then the rest will come once I know who succeeds and fails at whatever it is. So starting from the top, I've separated them out into 3 arcs, and these 3 arcs are how I grouped each character and with the scenarios and the events that'll be happening. So for example, starting with arc 1, does Willem's wound improve? Willem currently has a mental wound that's giving him a debuff of -2 rank shift to his willpower. I'm going to roll to see if that is something that will still exist. And unlike an assigned rank wound, similar to pretty much what Samuel has, which is a high ranked physical wound to his leg, this is just a debuff. So I'm going to roll to see if this is something that's still going to be here. Whereas with a physical wound such as Samuel's, I'm going to roll to see if that wound improves from what it is. Does it lower to a lower ranked wound? Because that is something that will require some more time to heal. Whereas this is a magically induced effect that might go away based off of how Willem addresses it. In Willem's submission, he states that he will be addressing it like so. Willem is suffering from possession fatigue and a mental wound. For the possession fatigue, he has spent time between turns resting in the medical facility of the Golden Bow, and he will not overexert himself while in the settlement procuring the climbing gear and cooking off his debt. He will additionally fortify his recovery from the fatigue with hearty alchemically enhanced meals. I'm giving him a +2 rank shift bonus for the effort that he put into healing from this. I'm also going to use his stat of I'm going to use his willpower attribute, which is exceptional, when rolling to see, if he's able to stave off this negative effect. So let's go to our tables. He is at exceptional willpower. I'm going to give him a +2, so it's going to be awesome. And I'm going to say the difficulty of getting this off of him, we'll say just average. So it's going to be awesome versus average. Anything under a 90 is a yes. Let's see how it goes. Anything under a 90 is a yes. So that's a yes. Okay. So I'll need to make sure that that is something that gets displayed in the episode, that he does heal from this. The next question, how well does Zanera's concoctions work? Does Zanera and Ianga's wound improve? And do they awaken Ianga? So Zanera is also suffering from a bit of mental fatigue. Let's see. Zanera has a mental wound, which is -1 rank shift to willpower. Also, Ayanga is sleeping. Now, this is something that the player, from a role-playing standpoint, put on themselves, saying that Ayanga is sleeping and made it a task to wake Ayanga up, which I actually absolutely love. And so we're going to treat this all as one thing. This is all in an effort to improve her current status of the mental of the magic sedation. She gets a Oh, you know what? I'm going to need to roll Willem again. My apologies. I actually forgot to apply the -2 rank shift willpower debuff. My apologies. So I'm giving him a +2. He was at awesome. That will be negated back down to exceptional. So it's going to be exceptional versus average. So anything under an 85, I'll keep the roll since, I rolled a 72. I'll keep the roll. Let's do it that way. Yeah, let's do it that way. All right. So the way Ayanga is going, or Zanera is going to take care of her wound, she created this very elaborate thing that she's going to do, where she's going to create a concoction that puts her into a sleep, and she's going to attempt to go into her own mind to wake up Ayanga, which is going to be fun to display. And she's going to do this by way of these potions that she's going to create. So I'm going to make use of her ability, her medical ability, to figure out how successful she is. I do believe she'll be successful unless it's a critical failure, which is why I'm rolling. And depending on how successful it is how dramatic the outcome will be. So Zanera has all right, so this is what she says. With the magically induced slumber, Zanera feels her elemental guardian may be in danger, especially with the threat of a djinn near the tower settlement. So her first order of business will be trying to awaken Ayanga using her medical knowledge. She plans on going to a place such as a high tower where damage will be mitigated, and with a friend in attendance, likely Eden, she'll make 2 concoctions to take. The first will put her into a deep sleep where she hopes she can find Ayanga deep within her psyche. Love that. And after a few hours, she instructed her friend, likely Eden, to administer the second concoction, which would wrench her awake. Her hope is by mirroring Ayanga's slumber and reconnecting with her, the drug will pull both of them back to waking. And by being in a high tower, this will minimize any damage if Ayanga wakes violently. So Zanera, let's go to Zanera. Zanera, her willpower is high. We'll use that attribute. Okay. But also, with regards to the strength and the success of creating these concoctions, how well is she, able to make these concoctions? Let's find out. So Zanera's healing arts. Zanera herself spent many years under her mother's tutelage, learning her people's healing techniques. She knows practical medicine, including treatments and surgeries. She also has a knowledge of herbs, poultices, and natural remedies obtained from local flora, as well as some more exotic ingredients. She can craft tonics that provide quick temporary relief in the heat of conflict until it is time for more directed care. And with a skill of high, let's go ahead and roll to see how well she's able to make these concoctions. So it's going to be high. She has a -1 to willpower. I don't believe the willpower will affect her ability to make these potions, so that's not going to come into play. So we have a rank of high, and I'm going to say what she's trying to do. it's pretty advanced. She's making a concoction that's pretty much going to induce sleep, and then a concoction that's going to get her out of sleep. These concoctions have to be synergetic and work together. There's some thought that's going to have to go on that. I'm going to say this is for the above average. This is an above average task. So it's going to be high versus above average. Is she able to successfully create these potions that need to work and function the way she needs them to? Anything under 55 is a yes. Let's find out. $81. So she has a hard time. This she's going to try again, but what this means to me is that this is difficult. It's going to require more time, which pushes out how much time goes by. This is not something that she's going to be able to quickly do. So she'll try again. And I'm automatically going to say that this will result in Ayanga waking up violently. So that will be something that comes into play. It's good that they're in a tower, but that's something that's going to happen. Let's roll again. Is she successful? She eventually gets it. She eventually gets it and makes an item and makes a concoction. It's not as perfect as she wanted it to be, but she's able to do it. All right, and then the next question is, is she able to successfully awaken Ayanga once she gets in there? And I am going to say that this is willpower based. Okay, this is all about willpower. So let me look at Ayanga's character sheet or Zanera's character sheet to see if there's anything else that could help with this endeavor. Ayanga's lightning magic, healing arts. Okay. This is all mental stuff happening. So it's going to be high. Hold up. All right, I did it again. I forgot to provide the penalty. Oh no, willpower didn't affect. Okay, so it's going to be high, -1. So it's going to be above average. Her above average willpower. I'm going to say this task. I'm going to give her a +1 because she does have a connection with Ayanga. She's in her own mind. So it'll negate the negative to the willpower. I'm going to say it's going to be high versus average. This is an average task. Anything under a 75 is a yes. Is she able to wake her? On a failure, I'm going to say that she'll need to try again. And she might get a wound. It might worsen. It might worsen the current wound. Is she able to successfully awaken Ayanga? What I say, anything under 75, high versus average, anything under 75 is a yes. She's able to successfully awaken Ayanga. Ayanga awakens violently. And no more mental fatigue. So that's good. Or mental sleep or whatever. Magically induced sleep. Okay. The next question is going to be, does Samuel's wound improve? Samuel has a high leg wound. Okay. And he states that arriving at the Golden Bough, Samuel got Eden to treat his wound. He plans to take it easy on that leg as best as he can and let Eden's medical expertise help his healing. If he finds some, he'll use crutches to move around, but he'll quickly toss them to, if he has to get busy. So we won't talk about the crutches until he fails this roll. So if he fails it, then we'll talk about crutches. But the crutches, because the wound's not going to go away, it'll go down, and the crutches will help. So that's good to know. We'll keep that in mind. Eden's medical expertise. Let's revisit Eden's character sheet. Eden has above average healing. She's proficient in treating illnesses, poisons, and wounds with ease. Above average healing versus a high wound. Let's look at Sam's character sheet to see if there's anything that could potentially boost. Anti-magical fortitude. In his time, Samuel has had to deal with a number of individuals that possess magical talents. Being a man who does not use such abilities, he has developed techniques used to counteract these threats. Okay, just making sure he wasn't resistant to magic, but I don't believe her ability is magic. Let me see. It's a skill. Healing. Yeah, she's using it as a skill. Yep. All right, so it's going to be Eden's above average. Does he have any boosts? Is he speaking to any boosts? No, he doesn't see a reason why. Okay, so it's going to be Eden's above average healing versus the high wound. Above average healing versus the high wound. And this will bring his wound down to above average. And with his crutches, that should alleviate, his endeavors by, I'll say it'll bring it'll help. All right. So above average versus high. And just for clarification, what I mean by I'm thinking afterwards, after he brings his wound down, the crutches should help with his above average wound and his endeavors. He's going to be getting a wound because he's going to get a negative rank shift because he's definitely going to be using his legs. But it'll definitely help. So let's see. Is she able to bring his wound down above average versus high? Anything under a 45 is a yes. Is Eden able to bring his wound down to above average? Oh, wait. I'm doing it wrong. His toughness is above average. It's going to be his toughness versus the wound. The toughness, I'm going to give to the question of does the wound come down? I'm going to give a bonus because of her above average healing. I'm going to give a rank shift bonus to this question. So with his above average toughness, it's going to now be high because it's getting aided by the healing. So it's going to be high versus high. Anything under a 50 is a yes. I believe that's an exceptional yes. That's an exceptional yes. With that said, I'm going to say that he is able to bring this wound down from high. Actually, you know what? Let me check the red book, because if it's an exceptional yes, let me make sure maybe the wound is gone altogether. Let me double check. Pulling up the red book. Is the character receiving hospital level medical attention? -3 rank shift to the recovery rank. I would say this is hospital level attention because of where he is. So honestly, it would have been even bigger. It would have been high versus average. So it would have been anything under a 75 is a yes. But since you got an exceptional yes already, I'm not going to re-roll. But this is good to know. An exceptional yes. The character recovers from this wound in half the time expected. In half the time expected. So it's pretty fast what happens. So it goes from high to above average. This question can be asked 1 to 30 days after the wound is received. It can be asked as often as you like until the character recovers from all lethal wounds. Okay. So when I'm thinking about the wound becoming weaker and weaker, I'm thinking about as time heals it. That doesn't apply to when it's receiving healing from something. Okay. Okay. So in half the time expected. All right, so I'm going to make a call here. This wound is going to go from, because it doesn't make sense for it to just be gone. I'm going to say that this wound is going to come down from high. Because of the exceptional yes, I'm going to say that it is now going to be an average wound. To kind of simulate the fast healing that is occurring because of that roll. So we're going to bring it from high down to average. It's an average leg wound now is how I'm going to interpret that. Exceptional yes. It is now an average lethal leg wound. All right. Next question. Does Eden successfully uncover and expel the spies within the Golden Bough? So she is making an effort to root them out. She says she is rooting them out due with her heightened abilities, such as her enhanced hearing. She now has a chance to uncover spies working among the staff at the Golden Bough and firing them. Okay. So what she's saying is all it takes is for her to hear and notice the bad things and the shady things that they are tasked with doing, such as taking some money, leaking information. Over time, she's going to pick up on these things. Let's see what these enhanced abilities, these heightened abilities that she's talking about are, because everybody recreated their characters. Let's see what we're working with here with Eden. So Eden, gentle, caring, scholarly, motherly, quiet, yet charismatic when needed. First of all, she has average agility, average reflex, exceptional intelligence. She's very smart, exceptional intuition, high willpower. Okay. Definitely somebody who would pick up on something, right? Healing, diplomacy, draconic senses is magic. Above average, can hear well enough to navigate even when blindfolded. Without a blindfold, she has exceptional long distance vision and night vision, improved ability to detect ambushes. Okay. And then she has leadership and then some cantrips. So so above average. Okay. Now, she wasn't tipped off, so we're not going into this like she's now searching for these things. This is something naturally over time. We're going to roll to see if during this window of time she's able to pick up and detect anything. All right, also her strengths: beauty, +1 to social interactions with individuals who may be attracted to her, and knowledgeable, +1 to tasks or challenges where having knowledge is advantageous. And because she hasn't been hip to what is going on with these, I don't think she's been tipped off. So she's not knowledgeable of any wrongdoing yet. Not enough time has gone by. No one has slipped up or anything. So this is just going to be a raw, above average. I'm going to say the difficulty of her discovering them doing their wrongdoing. Let's look at Maximori. Let me see if he has anything that would that could allude to them being more tactful. Definitely Dominion magic, Dark Manifestations magic, Shadow Travel magic. All right, Strength, Cultist Network. Father Mori has laid the groundwork for a cultist information network with the assistance of the Maiden. +1 when Father Mori utilizes his existing cultist network to find out information or intel where the Maiden's influence is strong. And then the Maiden's favor. Maiden's most devout follower, whenever he utilizes an unholy connection with the Maiden, asking for guidance and blessing, he gets a +1. Right? Okay, so it's going to be her above average draconic senses. I'm going to say the difficulty of detecting the nasty work that they're doing. The average person wouldn't be able to identify it, right? This is high level work they're doing here. They've put a lot of time into getting in there. They've been hired already, so that would imply that she trusts. There's a level of trust already established. I'm going to say the difficulty of this would be high. Above average versus high. Anything under a 45 is a yes. Does she notice and pick up any? Does anything happen that lets her pick up on it and fire them? Anything under a 45 is a yes. She doesn't notice anything. They're doing nasty work. No. She doesn't notice them yet. But for the player of Eden, you're on the right track. Continue to, make an effort to be aware of your house. Keep your house in order. But as of now, they have not done anything to tip you off, and you don't notice that there's nasty work being done. All right. And then the question is, does Eden sway the House of Tiny Lies guards? So in her submission, she says, she has plans to use this ability to search for the possessed rogue and eavesdrop on the disagreeable master's manner, hoping to gather valuable information. Eden will also attempt to persuade some of the disagreeable master's guards to her side, using her skills in diplomacy, leadership, and her striking appearance to win them over. She could sweeten the deal by offering a little bit of money and promising a fair settlement for everyone involved, appealing to their sense of fairness while providing a practical incentive to switch sides. She promises to recruit them as the Golden Bow's guards if the disagreeable master were to ever dispose of them, offering them a secure and stable position with better conditions. That's a lot to sweeten the pot, right? So let's look at her skills again. She said she's using diplomacy, leadership, and her striking appearance. Let's see if they're attracted to her. So her diplomacy is above average. Her leadership is above average. With those combined, I'll give her a +1. So we'll give her a high. She'll lead with diplomacy and leadership. We'll say that that's high. Let's see if they're attracted to her. So she has beauty. She has beauty, +1 to social interactions with individuals who may be attracted to her. She's outside of the bow, right? She's at their gates talking to them. Are they attracted to her? We'll just roll 50-50. We don't know what they're, what they like. 50-50. Anything under 50 is a yes. Are they attracted to her? Yeah, they find her attractive. So she'll get a +1 rank shift. So she's at high. She's at exceptional. I'm also going to say that her knowledgeable strength, +1 the tasks or challenges where having knowledge is advantageous. I would consider this one of those situations. She has knowledge that disagreeable master is disagreeable. They probably don't have a good deal. Knowing how he operates, they're always standing outside guarding. She's willing to make the bet that. That's why she's even offering this to begin with. She's willing to bet that what she's offering is probably better than what he's offering. And with that knowledge, she'll get a +1. So exceptional, +1. This brings her to incredible. I'm going to say the difficulty of this is going to be above average. They've been working with this man for a while. I'm going to say incredible versus above average. Anything under an 80 is a yes. Yeah. Yeah. She is successful. So let me make sure I understand. Are they just going to drop their stuff and come and work with her? Let's see. She strikes them. She wins them over with her appearance. She promises to recruit them as guards. I'm going to say that she is able to get the entire force, the guard force, to come work for her. Kind of like, like the strike. They all work together. They are in cahoots. They all work together. They roll as one, and they all agree. You know what? There's better resources to go work with Eden at the Golden Bough. After what they saw take place, they see what's happening with the Golden Bough. It looks nice over there. Yeah. Good job. Yes. They all agree. Whew. Damn. Does Eden and Samuel discover the House of Tiny Lies hiding any more secrets that can give Sam an advantage? So she says she's doing some eavesdropping, and this is when she'll discover that they hired Darren, or someone that seems to fit his description to go to the Shuddering Peaks. But also during this time, Samuel is with her. It makes sense because they're both investigating, so I paired them together. Samuel wants to find something that can help him deal with them in the future. We're going to see if such a thing exists. Does such a thing exist? I would say very likely. Anything under a 75 is a yes. Is that an exceptional yes? Yes, it's an exception. So there's information that definitely exists. It's very critical information. Are they able to pick up on it? Do they learn about it while they're, investigating? Does Samuel have an investigation skill? Let's find out. No. Neither of them have any particular skill that would, but they're they're investigating, they're doing their own research. I'm going to say that because the guards decided to help her, they learn a little bit with the help of the guards. Are they with the combination of now having the guards on their side, are they able to pick up on this secret? I'm going to say 50-50. I don't see really much information coming from just hanging around the House of Tiny Lies. They're pretty cooped up in there. There's only guards on the outside. They got help from the guards. What could the guards share that would give them this critical information? I'm going to say 50-50 to be fair. Do they get this information? Is that an exceptional yes again? Yes. Damn. So they do get critical information that can help Sam, and we'll say Eden too, deal with the House of Tiny Lies in the future. Hey y'all, it's looking like this House of Tiny Lies situation is about to come to a head. What is that information? Let's get some meaning and discovery. I'm gonna roll action and meaning from left to right. $63 and $5. Action meaning 63. Negligence and 5 for meaning description. Anxiously. Negligence. Anxiously. Negligence. Anxiously. They learn of something that will definitely bring them down. It's something that they've been negligent of, and something is anxiously waiting for the opportunity. I'm going to combine with the seed that Sam planted by confronting them, challenging them, which opened up, and now the guards leaving, this opened up the eyes of the people of the settlement. They learned that people had enough of their stuff. Now it's just a matter of just acting on it. They learned that the House of Tiny Lies has nothing to stand on other than their mystique. And now that the guards are gone and they've been challenged, they are easy to be brought to justice. Eden is doing some great work here. They're about to take them down. All right, the next question. Does Oiji further his weapon crafts? So Oiji says that he is going to spend some time using his intelligence and willpower to bend the spell, with knowledge of a spell that allows him to craft things. He's going to further the weapons that he has already created. So he recreated his character, and he kind of went into more detail on what he's capable of, and he's going to try to push that to another level. While also kind of combining and mixing that with the concepts that he learned from the Disagreeable Master. And one of the spells that he learned from the Disagreeable Master is to take an essence of a manifestation, dead or alive, to create something new. But with his ability to kind of tinker with magic effects, he's going to see if he can make use of that to improve these weapons that he has now. Is he successful at doing so? Let's find out. So he says, using his intellect and willpower to bend the spell to new designs. He has high intelligence, incredible willpower. Arcane Forge. Oiji has the ability to craft and shape not only his curses, but the arcane magics of the world into weapons, trinkets, and items of any kind. Oiji, curse and debuff magic. Oiji is well learned in the art of curses and the dark arts. He is not only able to identify these magics, but able to wrought them in both defense and offense of himself, as well as in the practice of his craft. His curses take on ghostly nature, almost necromantic, and his motifs, so cool, as wraiths, specters, and chains are summoned from beyond to enact Ouiji's will. Hands of creation. Ouija wears 2 armbands to either arm that look like skeletal hands. They can summon 2 spectral sets of hands. When crafting, he gets a +1, so he'll get a +1 from that, and then +1 to casting. So he's casting enchantment, so I'll give him a plus. So he's getting a +2 bonus. Okay. So using his arcane forge, which is above average, I'll give him a +2. Above average, +2 exceptional. I'm going to say the difficulty of what he's trying to accomplish. He is trying to combine concepts with the spell he already has learned. That's pretty advanced. I'm going to say for him, though, this is an above average task. So I'm going to say it's exceptional versus above average. Anything under a 75 is a yes. $87. So we'll roll again. I'll increase the difficulty. Exceptional versus high. Anything under a 65 is a yes. $91. We'll increase the difficulty again. He's failing. It's getting harder and harder, but he continues to try. He's trying to figure it out. He's trying to work on it. Anything under 50 is a yes. Exceptional versus an exceptional. One more time and the shit's gonna break. Damn. Oh, you're not even... Damn, y'all not even seeing the rolls. He's failing these Jones, but you know what? I need you to see the failure. Nah, just take my word for it. He was failing these rolls. The third one's a fail. So he has not been able to, he was not able to successfully further the weapons. He's finding some incompatibilities with his concept, and there is something that is missing. He realizes that, because he knows that this spell required an essence of a manifestation. If only he had there's a missing requirement, there's a missing ingredient that will probably propel his research. Let's just say he's conducting research, he has an idea and it's not going as planned, right? He realizes that there's one thing that he needs, one ingredient that he needs, and that's when later he goes to search for inspiration and materials, because he's used up a lot of materials just now. So he's going to go search for materials, and that's when he starts to join forces with Zanera and her plan to potentially attain the best material so that he could continue his efforts at the end of the episode. So he failed in that, but that's okay, because it's building up to the incentive and his motives for traveling with them. So hopefully the player is okay with that. That's how I'm interpreting the situation. 3 fails. I increased the difficulty each time to give him some additional shots. He failed 3 times. So he was not able to create them to his likings. He was able to do what he wanted to. He was able to, create some stuff, but in terms of furthering to his quality standards, he wasn't able to further it to meet any significance, to be of any significance. That's how the dice rolled. So that is a no. It's a no in the sense, and just to be clear, it's a no in the sense, and I got to explain this because I know the person. It's a no in the sense that it has not been improved to your quality of standards. To anyone else, oh, look, you made it look cooler. It looks more ghostlier. It looks skeletal. It has the motif, but nothing to write home about. And that's only because you had a particular idea in mind. Your research concludes that there's something missing. All right. And then we have Arc 2. This is everything involving the peak and climbing the shuddering peaks to approach and face off with Darren and the Jinn. Does Willem and the party find hidden path to secure safe ascent? So I say Willem and the party. Willem's going to be up there first, and then they might meet up, and then Willem is going to help them go up with the helps of the spirits and so on and so forth. Is he able to find any hidden paths? First, let's roll to see if he encounters any helpful spirits. So the first question is, does Willem encounter helpful spirits, or just spirits in general? Let's see. In his submission, he says, first, no, he's also rolling meals, right? So let me write that down real quick. Let's do that first. So first, he's preparing meals, right? He says once he has the gear, he'll definitely get the gear. I'm not rolling to see if he gets the gear. I do believe Eden will have gear to provide to him. He's going to work for it, of course, right? He's going to work for it. He gets the gear. Once he has the gear, he'll make an excursion to the base of the mountain. He'll prepare himself a meal to protect himself from the elements using local flora before calling upon spirits to aid him. How well is his dish crafted? Let's see how successful and how well this dish is. I'm rolling to see if we get any critical failures. I'm rolling to see if we get any critical successes. Let's take a look. Alchemical culinarian. Willem can cook magical meals, drawing on the spectacular magical properties of ingredients to offer boons and buffs to his allies. Above average. What about strengths? Spirit speaker and well-traveled. Willem is over 300 years old and has learned to see the hidden and overlooked things in the world. He gains +1 intuition to notice hidden things, clues, and paths. I'm going to give him a +1 to locating ingredients because of well-traveled. So it's going to be high. I'm going to say the difficulty of this for what he's trying to do. I'm going to say, locating ingredients. I'm going to say is below average. So it's going to be high versus below average. Anything under 85 is a yes. This is going to be locating and making the meals. All right, cool. So he successfully makes the meals suitable enough to get him through to deal with the elements. I'm assuming he's making stuff that keeps him warm, I don't know. Has anyone ever played Frostfall? The Frostfall mod for Skyrim? Put in the comment section. Let me know if you a Skyrim modder. Anyway, yes, and they serve their purpose. All right. Then he says he goes on to calling upon spirits to aid him. So the spirits will direct it to keep pace with will. So is he able to locate any spirits to help him? Are there any spirits? I would imagine a lot of people have perished on this mountain. So with regards to the odds of encountering spirits to help him, that's going to be very hot. What's Spirit Speaker do? Spirit Speaker. Willem is physically attuned to the dead, and they often offer their aid in the hopes he might help them move on. Willem gains +1 rank shift to intelligence from the spirits trying to solve his problems. That's so cool. Ectomancer. Willem can call on spirits to aid him in his endeavors. Through his magics, he can physically interact with the world around them, performing the task. Through this magic, spirits can physically interact with the world around them, performing the tasks he designates. Okay. And he's designating them to help him guide him up the mountain. Okay. So the chances of there being spirits are incredibly high, right? To the point where I'm rolling because, for incredible success and incredible failure. So let's see. I'm going to say certain. So anything under a 90 is a yes. Almost was a critical yes. All right, 43. So there's definitely spirits, and they're definitely going to help him get up the mountain, right? He says the spirits keep pace with, he directs him to keep pace with them, secure pythons, and I hope I'm saying that right, as he climbs. This will keep his way secure. So yeah, he finds spirits who help him. And I'm even going to add, they say, hey, can you help us find our bodies so that they can move on. Does Willem and the party find hidden paths? So, okay, so with the help from the spirits who have experience on the mountain, with +1 to intelligence from the spirits solving his problems, and well traveled, I think this deserves a whopping max rank shift 3 bonus. And this is going to be off of I would say this is a combination of toughness and intelligence, because he has to brave the mountain to traverse it. They're both above average. Okay, so we'll say above average. I'll give him a rank shift of 3, a bonus of +3 rank shift. Because he's getting these bonuses from various sources. So above average +3. So incredible. The difficulty of going up, the difficulty of traversing this mountain and looking for paths, I'm going to say is pretty difficult though. So incredible versus high. Anything above 75 is a yes. Anything below 75 is a yes. $31. All right. Yep. He does find a hidden path for safer ascent. Yes. Finds safer path for ascent. I wonder, is he looking for like additional like treasure on these paths? Let's find out. He said hidden paths that be safer than a direct approach. Okay. I'm going to say that because he finds these paths, he will encounter their, the bodies of the spirits, and these spirits will they may have some things on them. I'm going to roll, and this is just for the sake of role playing and flavor. Let's roll on the scavenging table to see what the bodies of the dead have on them. I'll roll 3 times. No, I'll roll twice and interpret one big, loot result. $99.79. Waste. Scary. I'm going to interpret that as he finds the bodies, but they're mangled, their belongings are destroyed, eaten, and the reward in that is that he's tipped off that he is going to encounter, there's likely manifestations on this mountain that did this to him, to these bodies. Pretty much giving him a heads up that there is something dangerous on the mountain. That's the reward. He finds a safe path for ascent, discovers bodies. He discovers some bodies to the spirits helping him. Tipping him off on what could lie ahead. So to the next question, do they encounter enemies and NPCs? I'm not even going to roll for NPCs. I'm instead going to roll for enemies, because we definitely know he's going to encounter enemy. The question is it a new manifestation or an existing manifestation? $50-50. Is it an existing manifestation? It's a new manifestation. All right, let's roll on the creature crafter table. $74, $34, $76. 74. Solid color. 34. Gaunt. 76. Spider-like. Yeah, so they end up encountering that creature. I'll flesh it out when I write the story. And that's going to be a new manifestation. Let's see how powerful it is. I'm expecting it to be powerful if it's able to live up here. Let's see how much less powerful it is or more powerful it is based off my expectations. In order to do that, I need to roll a fate question. All right, so I'm going to I believe that the statistic value of this creature is going to fall in the range of I want to say it's going to be very powerful, because when I rolled this location, it said that it was a very dangerous, treacherous location, and that's going to be due to the weather. And if a creature can survive in this weather, it's going to be naturally powerful. And so I'm going to say that's going to fall anywhere between, it's going to be a exceptional threat. Okay, I'm expecting it to be an exceptional threat. Let's see if that's modified. Is it? I expect it to be an exceptional threat. 95. Oh wait. Wait, how does this work? Hold up. Does it have a value of exceptional? I rolled a 95. I believe that is an exceptional no. Wait. Fake check. I rolled a 95. That's an exceptional no. And if it's an exceptional no, the value is much lower than I expected by 50%. So that means %. I'm just going to bring it down to average. It's average has average stat value. Okay, that's good. That's good for them. That has average stat value. Okay, hopefully they can deal with that. Let's go ahead and roll now. What is this thing capable of? I'm going to roll a couple abilities. For inspiration on what this thing does. $75, $68, $86. Resistance, poison, substance. It's toxic. It uses toxic substances and it's resistant to the weather. It has resistances. It has resistances to weather, obviously, and uses toxic substances to its advantage. Okay. We know along the lines it's going to come to braving the weather and the nature, and though Willem is boost, it has some defense to that. That's good. The question will come up: does Zanera protect the party from the elements? I'm going to make it so that the elements do what they're supposed to do and get really crazy. Is Zanera able to protect them from these elements? Assuming that it's lightning, and lightning, she has power over lightning, right? And it's very stormy weather, but it's also snowy weather too. So with her lightning magic, is she able to protect them? I'm going to say the difficulty of that is going to be what's her ability? She has incredible lightning magic, okay? But I also know that the player has a very weak skill, a very new skill that deals with manipulating weather. So we'll tie that in as well. I think the player may have forgotten about it, but I kind of remember it. So we'll kind of tie that into this. Maybe if the magic fails, she'll be able to rely on that weather manipulation. So we're going to say her incredible lightning magic. I'm going to raise the difficulty of this since it's not necessarily just light. It's not a lightning storm or anything. So I'm going to make it incredibly hard. No, I'll just give a penalty since it's not just lightning that they're dealing with. So it's going to be incredible. I'm going to give a -2 penalty since it's a diverse weather effect. And then we'll roll that first. And if that fails, no, we'll combine it with her ability to, which is low, so it's not really going to do anything. So we'll just say high versus incredible. Anything under a 25 is a yes. Oh. No. So though she might be protecting them from the lightning and all that, but the winds and you know, maybe the snow and the avalanches or whatever, it is just too much, and that's just something that they're going to have to deal with. It'll give them penalties. It'll give them some penalties going forward. Yeah. And I'm sure Willem, his meals will counteract those, but it's definitely going to be needed is what I'm saying, because there's going to be penalties at play. No. Because it's not just lightning. The Sam successfully subdue the Jinn. So when they do realize that their Jinn is no longer in Darren, they're going to encounter it. They're going to have to subdue it. They're going to have to then exercise it so that it is pulled into the vial that Oiji made. Matter of fact, I'm going to need to roll Oiji's success on the manacles. We'll need to roll that. Let me roll that now. So Oiji, assuming he would be using his forge when they're back in town, is going to make these manacles. So above average. I'm assuming that there will be debuff magic in these manacles, so we'll lead with the debuff magic. Incredible debuff magic will go into the manacles. So incredible. We'll give him a +2 rank shift for the craft and for the debuff magic. I'll give him a +1. We're not going to double dip. He would get a +1 to casting the debuff magic on the manacles. That's fine. That happens. And now he has the manacles. How effective they're going to be is going to be based off of his incredible debuff magic. So it's going to be incredible. But the act of creating these manacles is what I'm looking for. So it's going to be above average from the Arcane Forge, I'll give him +1 for the hands of creation, so it's going to be high. And I'm going to say the difficulty of what he's trying to do. I'll give him a bonus for having the knowledge that they find, that Zanera finds from the tomes. You know, her own knowledge of jinns. Maybe she has the books. He uses that, so we'll say above average +1 from hands of creation, +1 from the help of Zanera's knowledge of jinns. So above average, high, exceptional. The difficulty I'm going to say for him is below average. Anything under a 90 is a yes. Yo, Oiji is rolling like shit. What? That's an exceptional no. Anything over a 99 is an exceptional no. He fails at making the manacles on the first go around. Damn. Right now I'm trying to think of a narrative plot point that can help with this scenario. He fails. I want there to be a good reason as to why he fails this, of all things. And what would plan B be? At this point, I'm trying to... I like to cater to the players, right? There has to be an upside for downside things sometimes. And I want this to have... there be a reason. I want this to be meaningful. I think this is an opportunity to show Oiji's genius. He discovers that it didn't work because whatever's in those books about the jinn and so on and so forth doesn't apply anymore. This is a new world. Things have changed. Reality has changed. One, they're not even called jinn. He's going to point that out. And then two, he's going to present his own formulaic experiment on what he thinks is what is needed to trap this entity. Because they're not jinn anymore. Something changed. Something has changed. And so using his curse debuff magic knowledge, he develops a new approach to use with the manacles, not from what's within the books. And with an incredible ranked use of his magic, he's going to attempt to create a formula for this enchantment. So with incredible magic being applied to this research, I'm going to say the difficulty is above average. Anything under 80 is a yes. he successfully develops. Oops. He successfully develops a magical enchantment formula or whatever to apply to this manacle invention, and then he tries it again. Above average +2, so it's going to be exceptional versus, we'll say, average. Anything under 85 is a yes. He does it though. It's hard work and he gets it. What the heck? We're going to have to put on the show to show that this was hard to do. It's going to be some creepy magic we're going to see. We're going to make it sound and look cool. All right, let's roll with that. I like that. So to the question of does Oiji make manacles? Exceptional, no, with Zenera's research. The tomes about the Jinn. Oiji proposes a new approach, highlighting that the world is different and that these aren't Jinn per se. And with a yes, he creates an even better invention than the manacles with the vial. He creates a contraption that serves better his purpose and her purpose. But it's going to be used to capture the Jinn and turn it into a material. Boom. And so to the question of does the party successfully subdue the Jinn? First, I need to ask, how powerful is the Jinn? So the Jinn finds a new body. The Jinn is going to find a new vessel, and that vessel is going to be my character, the Journeyman, from the Master Rogue series, because I want to bring that character into Master Plane so that I can continue my solo campaign in this setting. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. I have an episode that I've been working on. It's very old because I picked up from where I left off, but I never released it. I'm going to work on that episode. I'm going to finish that episode, and at the end of the episode, because one of my allies is the artist. This is in the past. And one of my allies is the artist, and I'm going to have it so that the artist betrays me and displaces me. And somehow I end up in this world, and my body is found by the Jinn. And so the Jinn is going to possess my body, my character, my vessel is going to be the enemy. And they're going to hopefully defeat him so that I can start playing. And we need to figure out how powerful my character or my vessel is going to be. So let's go ahead and I know what my character is capable of. It's going to have the powers of the Jinn that we already decided is sleep magic and, some kind of like ethereal magic, dark magic, but also with the abilities of my character, which was I was really good with the sword and words, but that's not going to matter. Really good with a very long sword in combat. Let's just figure out how that translates into being taken over by a Jinn. How much more powerful? So stat wise, I'm going to say my character is going to be, we'll say his stat value is going to be exceptional. I'm expecting it to be exceptional. So let me go ahead and roll. Is it going to be exceptional? No. So if it's a no, the value is 25%. The value is lower than I expected by 25%. So I'm just going to lower it to high. Stat value is going to be high. And let me roll an extra ability since it's in my vessel. In addition to its current magic and my character's sword ability, let's give it a new ability. 9788. Vision suppress. So it'll be surrounded by some kind of dark veil that makes it hard to see. You know, it's going to be utilizing the harsh weather. Vision, it's going to suppress vision using the winds and its dark magic. And yeah. So the enemy is the journeyman. High stat value. New ability, vision suppress. Uses magic with the weather to obscure self. And the question is, does the party successfully subdue the jinn? To determine that, I'm going to see what the leading ability in their offense is going to be. I think Willem Toth is going to play a big role. Maybe not. He'll be able to communicate with the spirit in those matters. He's helping them fight it by staying alive in the bad weather. Zanara is probably going to be the leading factor with her incredible lightning magic. Sam and Sam's incredible strength. And fearlessness. So it's going to be her incredible Ouija. So Ouija's going to be there too, right? So they're going to have to get the contraption onto the creature. And once that's going to be the winning condition. So they're going to, so essentially it's going to be, it's going to be incredible. And with the help of the others, I'll just give them a +1. They're not really contributing to the combat piece. So I'll give them a +1. So it's going to be incredible +1. awesome. So it's going to be awesome. I'll give them a negative because I'll let the negatives be voided out by the meal that's going to be in their system. So it's going to be awesome. I'm going to say he said that he's going to be high. The enemy's going to be high. It's going to be awesome versus high. Anything under 80 is a yes. Do they subdue it and defeat them? No. So he will defeat the party. They will take wounds and it will escape once again. How about this? So the question was, do they subdue the jinn? That means they weren't able to get to exorcise the jinn, but they may be able to defeat the person. So the jinn gets away, they defeat the journeyman. What I'm bummed out about is that Oiji won't be able to get what I was hoping he would get, what he would be hoping to get. But I'll let him get a taste of the minions. Okay, yeah, so the jinn gets away. They defeat its body. The jinn gets away. And it leaves behind, all the minions went into the journeyman's sword. It'll leave behind the sword, and Oiji will be able to at least get something from the sword. A sword of 100 ghost minions. I'm sure he'll be able to find something to do with that. The journeyman will be on the verge of death. Yeah. What does Willem find at the top? Now, mind you, they are going to be injured and hurt. The jinn will have hurt them enough just in time, it would have delayed them or suppressed them enough for it to get away, because they fail at subduing it, but they still defeat the enemy. But it gets away. So they still will be able to find what's at the top. What do they encounter at the top? Is it a person, place, or thing? Let's roll meaning. $25, $24. I'm going to roll meaning to see if I can interpret if it's a person, place, or thing. $25, $24. 25, control. 24, defiantly. I'm going to say that because the journeyman was found atop here, it's going to have something to do. It's going to have some real meta like implications. So maybe it's some sort of conduit or location that can affect the master plane in some way, such as maybe it can reveal a new location, it can do something, it could control an existing location, it can control the mountain. Let's make it so that it's a magic location that can change the location. Perhaps changing it to I'll figure it out. But matter of fact, let's roll. I like the idea of it being a location that can change something about this location from a dangerous mountain to something else. Let me go ahead and roll. I'm gonna roll on a spell effect table. $49.82. Hamper. Senses. So currently their senses are being hampered. They are perceiving that this is a dangerous mountain. Once Willem taps into it, he'll be able to change it to what it really is. And what it really is, I'm going to roll on a locations table. What it really is, $15.76. Colorless, reassuring. Colorless, reassuring. Let me colorless, reassuring. I'll remember that, but let me roll on domicile descriptions. Let's do that. $52.31. Mechanical, dull. I'm going to say that this is some sort of location, one of many, that can be used to manipulate the plane. When used with another location of its type, it can probably change things within its boundaries. So I'm going to give the player some. I'm going to think of a way to give the player some control over changes that they can make to the plane, whether it be with an existing location or a new location. I'll give the player an opportunity to have some say into what a nearby location manifests as. Let's do that. It's a magic. It's a magic location. that uses plain magic to manipulate surrounding areas. Yeah. And the mountain was just an illusion. Let's roll with that. It can change a new location into something more fitting. He'll be able to have a say in some of what it becomes, or he can change an existing location the same way. Let's roll with that. Okay. And then in our last arc, does the maiden want Oiji spared or killed? 50-50. He's going to go to guidance about, apparently Maxim and Nazareth were talking about taking out Oiji. And Maxim is going to consult with the maiden on this. What does the maiden want? Does she want Oiji dead or spared? Does she want Oiji dead? Yes or no? Anything under 50 is a yes. No. So the Oiji says, yeah, nah. We don't need that problem right now. No. Does the cultist network provide insight from the Golden Bough? What's his ability? Strength, cultist network. +1 when Furthermore utilizes is going to find out information. +1. So +1. I'm going to say the odds of success, +1. I think it would be easy for him to get that information. So I'm going to say very likely that he's able to get that information. Anything under a 75 is a yes. No, he's not able to get any information, and that's probably partly due to nobody chose to go to the 7 path, so that didn't come up. So no, he's not able to get, he doesn't hear any, he doesn't get any information with regards to that. Does Maxim sow doubt into Naz about Oiji and the Golden Bough? So apparently Maxim wants to sow some doubt into Nazareth about Oiji and the Golden Bough, and I'm not really sure what he means by that, but I'm just going to interpret that as he wants them to be perceived differently than how Naz perceives them now. And I don't know how Naz perceives them now, but I'm assuming he wants to sow some doubt into them, whatever that means. It might make sense later. Is he able to sow doubt? So it's going to be Maxim's he'll have the unholy connection. He'll get a blessing of +1 to his endeavors because he had prayed before all of this, so we'll give him a +1. It'll be his willpower. We'll use his willpower as a base stat. To exert his will. Let me read this again. The maiden's favorite. Furthermore, he's the maiden's most devout follower. Whenever he utilizes the only connection with the maiden, asking for guidance and blessings. Okay, yeah, so exceptional. It'll be exceptional +1. So incredible. He's exerting his willpower. This is going to be an attribute check. Versus Nazareth's intuition. Let's look at his abilities real quick. Unbreakable will. Nazareth's mental fortitude is nearly unbreakable, allowing him to resist fear, intimidation, and psychological attacks. His enemies find it impossible to manipulate his mind, as his resolve remains steadfast even in the direst of situations. When faced with powerful magic, torture, or mind games, Nazareth refuses to break mentally. His enemies will find that they cannot sway his decisions or exploit his emotions. Let me look at his submission, see if he mentions anything else. If I'm under mental attacks, I will rely on my willpower to help me through. Okay. And his willpower is... above average. So he'll be defending with, he'll be innately, he'll be defending with this skill, his unbreakable will, his strength. So we'll give him a +1. Fuck it, +2. So it'll be above average +2. It'll be incredible +1. Exceptional +1. So it'll be incredible versus above average +2. It'll be incredible versus exceptional. Anything under a 55 is a yes. Is he able to sow doubt into Nazareth's mind about his perception of Oiji and the Golden Bough? Incredible versus exceptional. Anything under a 55 is a yes. No. It doesn't work. And I don't know if Nazareth... Let me do an intuition check to see if Nazareth picks up that he's attempting to be manipulated. Nazareth's intuition is above average as well. I'm going to say the difficulty of noticing this, it's not a particular skill that Maxim is using to be deceptive, so it's not really hidden. So we're going to say Nazareth's above average intuition. I'm going to say the difficulty of picking up on this is probably average. So above average versus average. Anything under 65 is a yes. Is he able to pick up on these manipulation tactics? Anything under 65 is a yes. Yeah, he picks up on it. And he probably says something about it too. That probably doesn't help their trust situation. But he knows how Maxim is, and he probably knows, he expects this. You know, it's a character flaw. At the end of the day, Maxim is kind of a snake. So no, he does not sow doubt in the Naz about Oiji and the Golden Bough, and Nazareth notices. Didn't he say something about their trust in his submission? Let me go to Nazareth. make sure Maxim is indeed trustworthy. So I don't know if that helps Maxim. He's not looking trustworthy to Nazareth right now. So that will affect how I write, and how their partnership plays out. So I'm glad that happened. All right. Next question: does Naz successfully traverse the tunnels from past experience? Because he's been there, I'm gonna give him a +2 rank up to a certain point. Right, is what's familiar to him, so it'll ease it. I'm going to say the chances are high. I'm going to say very likely. Anything under a 75 is a yes. Yeah. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Almost an exceptional yes. So, going back the way he came is easy. And that should help them at least halfway until they start going into newer, untraversed territory. Does Naz find any additional new rooms? I'll give him a bonus just because he was able to save a lot of time and tracking, following his steps back in. Is he able to find any additional new rooms? With a intuition of above average plus the resurrected entities that Maxim brings to life. They're from here, so I'm gonna give them a +2 just for having the knowledge of these. Well, they're dead, but he'll have help. They'll be able to send some zombies into traps and different paths to figure out what the right path is, and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna give him a total 2 bonus to finding a new location with potential treasure in it. So I'm going to say that the odds are near certain. Anything under 85 is a yes. Or the difficulty, we'll use rank versus rank. We'll say it's above average +2 from the boost. Anything under, I'm going to say the difficulty of doing this is above average. Anything under 75 is a yes. Yeah. Yes. And what is it that they find? Let me roll meaning. $75, $100. Propose. Yieldingly. That doesn't make sense to me. Let me roll on. They find a new location, right? Is there treasure in it? Very likely. Because that's what this place is all about. Anything under a 75 is a yes. Exceptional, yes. So we'll say that this is a secret that they find for the whole yieldingly thing. Whatever, I don't remember what it was. We'll say that means in this room, propose yieldingly. They find something, and they have to propose something. So it's something that talks to them, and they have to say something. We'll say it's maybe some kind of puzzle. And with their combined wits, they have to figure it out. And it'll give them this treasure. Are they able to, with their combined, let me see, Maximori is pretty intelligent, right? Just trying to make it interesting, trying to add flavor, trying to flesh it out. Exceptional intuition. Maybe they have to sacrifice something. They have to propose. They have to yield to it and sacrifice. They propose a sacrifice, and they send in one of the rogues that they encounter into it, and it dies, and it presents them with something. Let's go with that. And I'm just going to roll on some loot. $99.86. Water. Speed. Okay. I'm going to interpret that as they discover a new element. This is a new type of element, a new resource. This is they find a valve. They find a reservoir of a special liquid that when drank, it speeds up something. What does it speed up? Let's roll meaning. $34.71. Dispute. Miserably. To miserably dispute. Miserably dispute the miserable. it's a water that makes you, and it changes your personality. It makes you want to it makes you into a miserable person, and you become disagreeable. You want to dispute. You want to go against everything. You want to dispute everything. It changes. It manipulates your disposition. It makes you mean. So they discover a new beverage. They discover a new liquid, a new resource that looks like water, black water. It's black water, and this is what they learn now. It changes your personality. It makes you, it makes you into a dark, disagreeable person. And they find an entire reservoir of this, and there could be other, aspects and facets of this resource, but it's a new resource, and we can build from that. But this is important because it's a new resource. It could be a fuel. It can be studied, and you can learn more things about it. How does it change you as a person, or does it have that effect on everything? So this can open up many doors, but they found a whole entire new resource that they had to sacrifice something for. It makes you evil. It makes you to a dark person. I'm also going to say that once they do that, they hear something in the distance. It sounds like something unlocked, and they hear the flowing of this black water. So I think some of the tunnels are now flooded with this water, and one wrong turn, you can be flooded with this black water that can make you evil. Meanwhile, as they're searching through, they are in. This thing is hunting them. And this creature, I rolled when I created this quest that this creature is 10% stronger than what I expect. So I have to roll. It has the first description was growling, the second description was alien, and for the abilities I rolled protection, distract, and detect, and that culminated into this creature uses these passages. It's a grim presence that hunts. It's an otherworldly creature. Otherworldly, because I rolled alien. It's an otherworldly creature that lurks in the cursed darkness. Its growls reverberate through the labyrinthine corridors, and it ambushes. And its ambushes are gruesome, leaving many injured, maimed, or outright dead. The creature is a cunning guardian, toying with its prey and employing deception, as though playing a cruel game. It's ever watchful, sensing intruders and lying in wait like a serpent poised to strike. Those who venture in are often broken by the experience. So this whole time I'm going to have to make it so that they're being stalked. This thing has, because I rolled detect, it always seems to know where they are. You can hear its growls, and then I think finally it's going to come out, but it's going to be in the form of an ambush. Now, Nazareth has an ability that may allow him to prepare for this ambush. Fate bending. He can subtly perceive future events, allowing him to anticipate dangers or foresee critical opportunities. His cryptic visions help him navigate battles or major decisions with ease. The His foresight will grant him a distinct advantage in combat or decision making. This could mean dodging an enemy strike at the last second or making a perfect counterattack due to his premonition. So this can manifest in the form of a +1 rank shift to a very important role that he makes defensively or offensively, or even just a -1 rank shift to the opponent's role in certain situations, which is probably what we'll do here. This creature is probably going to try to attack, and with his fate bending, which I believe is above average, he would be defending with that. Alright, so let me roll what this creature's capabilities are in terms of its stats. It's going to be 10% stronger than what I'm expecting. So I'm expecting this thing, with all the dirty work that it's been doing, I'm expecting this thing to be like, I'll say exceptional. Yeah, I'll say exceptional. I'm expecting it to be an exceptional creature. Yeah. And 50-50. That's an exceptional yes. So that means the value is, wait, I already rolled this. I already did this. So I said I'm expecting it to be exceptional, and it's going to be 10% stronger than that. So it's going to be incredible. Has incredible stat value. And it's going to attempt to ambush them. So with his with his abilities and even his ability of foresight, I'll lump that into the roll. I'm sure he'll be leading the charge. Above average. This creature utilizes illusions to trick and lure people, and he has unbreakable will, because that's a psychological attack at the end of the day. That should play a factor. If this thing is able to land a sneak attack or a critical blow on him, his Leviathan scales would also play a factor. There's just a lot not going for this entity's type of attack. This entity seems to be an ambusher, and along with Maxim Mori in tow, with all the creatures and the zombies, they're gonna have a perimeter around them. And I just don't see it working out for this creature. It's probably going to make them take chase to it in these corridors and then along with the traps and stuff, but I don't know how much that will help unless it's just trying to straight up escape. I'm going to have to judge this as wait, let me see. What is Maxim doing? He's traveling in and out of the shadows to stay out of danger. This is all about the creature being within its own element too. This is its creature's element, but Nazareth is using Arena Master, which is illusion magic, to create a battlefield that takes the creature out of his element and forces it into a favorable terrain for him and to hinder it. That alone is enough. So we're going to say Nazareth's above, because I think his highest skill is above average. He's pretty well balanced from a skill perspective in terms of like what their ranks are. So I'm going to say, it got above average, plus we'll give him the benefit of Maximori's presence and all that comes with that. We'll say that's +1. And then just the arena situation alone. We'll give above average. We'll give them, he and Maximori, they'll be at exceptional together. This creature is at a disadvantage. I said the creature was exceptional. Or incredible. 10% more. I'm going to give the creature a disadvantage of 2. So it's going to be exceptional versus high. Anything under 65 is a yes. Are they able to defeat this creature? Yes. Now, this creature was protecting something. What was it protecting? We're rolling another secret here. 45 and 1. Guide. Abnormally. I'm going to say that from this creature, they pull from its body some sort of device or item. We'll say the creatures has the creature is in possession of something that guides them deeper into the 7 paths, to another sector of the 7 paths. Some kind of map of sorts. And it's abnormal in the sense that it's not a regular map. It might even just be like a beating, like a body part or like a beating heart, or maybe the head of the creature that guides them through. I'll figure it out when I'm writing, but it's some kind of guide that takes them further into it, should they want to progress further into the 7-path tunnels, just to give them a hook to, come back. Or maybe sell it. And then Maxim, I'm not even going to roll. There's no, I'll roll. For critical success and failure. He might fuck around and revive the creature. I don't know. But we're going to do his death domain. Oh yeah, and then he gave Nazareth the dark manifestations. Like that battle was going to be easy. Deathly dominion over the darkness, things without life, increasing the dead, whose life of those is now gone, has given the ability to raise, control the dead. With a high of 15, is he able to successfully do that? I'm going to say the difficulty of raising this creature to life is, we'll say, above average. No, we'll say average. So high versus average, we'll give him a +1 because he has guidance from the blessing of the maiden. So we'll say exceptional versus average. Anything under 85 is a yes. And he raises that last creature and sends him through the portal as well. And then they both leave using shadow travel from the tunnels. All right. This should be an interesting episode. Of course, I'll take some liberties to kind of fluff it up but the outline that I have in mind is pretty much straightforward, and these dice results make it that much better. Wow. That thing with the I'm just excited to getting my character in here so I can start doing some solo role playing again. And then getting into the server to role play with the players as well should be fun.